Welcome back to our weekly energy update. My name is Jona Bryndis, and as every Friday, I'm walking you through the energies perceived of next week, maybe getting a different perspective on these impulses and these unseen outer things that are affecting us, putting words to things that are hard to describe, where our words sometimes leave us. This energy update for week 19 is for the time of May 7th till May 13th. Next week we have a Friday the 13th. Heads up here, no worries. We're going to talk about this next Friday, why we have this superstition about Friday the 13th. Today I want to focus your attention on the things that are worth living for. We have two journeys in our life. One is the journey of accumulating, growing up, gaining more knowledge, gaining more body, becoming more mature. And then we have a second journey that is no longer about growing up, that is about growing. And the journey of growing is a journey of letting go, of lightening the load, of picking your battles wisely, of understanding that if you want to grow, you're gonna have to be okay with letting go how you perceived, how you felt, how you saw the world yesterday. Because everybody who has this impulse to grow will realize that today I'm wiser than I was yesterday. In other words, there is no way to grow without you understanding that where you are at right now is exactly where you need to be so that you can grow tomorrow. Where most people have difficulties is to forgive themselves for not knowing this before. You guys know these should-haves, would-haves, could-haves, right? These are thought processes that you do with your ego mind that indicate to you that you clearly recognize that you're seeing more now. Your worldview, your perspective of yourself, even if you had to go through a painful learning experience, you will recognize that you are richer now, that you know yourself better. And the more you know yourself, the less you will be inclined to trying to hold on to how you felt or how you saw things yesterday. Why would you? Because you recognize that who you are today is the wiser you. And if you want to become a pro in growth, this second journey of your life where you begin to see the bigger picture, well, you're going to have to realize that it's a constant process. It's not an event. You don't just wake up one day and you're enlightened. You continually grow, you continually evolve, and so this second journey becomes the journey of letting go how you saw things before. So in this first part of our life, we complicate things. And in the second part of our life, we simplify things. Yes, those of you who have watched the forecast for May and listened to the energy alignment, which you can obtain by subscribing to my newsletter, it's in the description. You will notice that I've pointed out that the May energy that we are dealing with here in our personal journey, regardless of where we're at, journey 1, journey 2, has to do or supports us or shows us the fortitude or the benefit of letting go. Basically motivating us to grow. And what is that moment in a person's life where the person begins to shift their focus from accumulating to simplifying? It is the moment where the person realizes that those things that are worth living for, those things that make this life sacred and valuable, are not the things that we can accumulate, are not the material things, are not the things that we're thinking. They're the things that we feel, the things in our life that bring our heart and our soul into the game. And therefore, spiritual growth doesn't really have anything to do with religion. It has to do with wisdom. It has to do with the person recognizing what truly matters, what is truly valuable and sacred for them. And that's then what we call awakening, because in that moment, we realize that all the money in the world, all the knowledge in the world, all the furniture and all the cars, and even all the friends or, presumed friends in this world, or jobs or titles or whatever, aren't really going to lead us to love, peace, and happiness. Love, peace, and happiness, the things that make life worth living for, they come in through our conscious awareness. And yes, this has to do with thinking. This has to do with our first part of the journey, where we learn things quantitatively, if you will. And then recognizing that if our feeling is not involved, that all that does to us, this thinking and this material orientation, is that we get stressed out, that our life gets complicated, that it gets hard, that we need a lot of control, to keep it in a certain way, to maintain whatever it is that we have accumulated. And it is in that moment that you will find yourself next week asking yourself if this is really all there is, if this is what life is worth living for, this constant control, this constant haste, this constant stress about potentially losing something. Or if there are things that you can focus on instead that give you this conscious impulse to say, yes, maybe it's tricky, maybe it's challenging right now, maybe there are some things that I still need to compromise, that I need to control in a certain way, or where I have to use self-discipline. But the goal is not to stay in that place. The goal is to grow. And for that, I need to remember that all the complications in life, that they are the ones that create the load. So it is only natural to realize that part of this awakened journey, this journey as an awakened soul self, is to use all that you've accumulated in your head, in your 3D life, to discern Yeah, to sort out, to clear out, to cleanse the things that are actually not conducive, meaning helping you for your growth. So this next week is a sort of a final cleanse. It is sort of a big, powerful clearing out of things that you no longer need to move forward. And with these energies that came in this week, this mind-blowing new perspective where there was a sudden clarity, as to, wow, I didn't even realize this before. I have been doing blah, 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 and that's actually not really what I want. Or I have been making way too many compromises. Or all this self-sacrifice in order to feel more deserving of love, etc., isn't really getting me more love, isn't really getting me where I want to go. And here is the tricky part, guys, and this you will feel next week. You will feel something like a bit of a slowdown. Okay, so you will become a little impatient because you still have these really, really strong downloads here that want you to run your update. But you're not quite sure yet what it is that you must let go for that upgrade, to become embodied, to express, to self-actualize. And this may trigger impatience in you. This may trigger agitation in you, an inner unrest. And at the same time, an outer, probably physical apathy, like feeling frozen to a degree. Not in this way that we had it in April, where we went into this the rabbit hole of our journey, not like that. You will just feel that your body, or you will want to move faster than your body, not just your physical body, your entire sort of you can move. And so you're gonna have to work with these mental impulses, and the wisdom that wants to come in. And wisdom, guys, is basically mind plus heart plus soul. Your heart mind, as I often call it. You have to turn all this quantitative, the quantity of what you know, the amount of what you know, what you have, what you got, and discern it and turn it into a qualitative choice, a conscious choice. This is how I want to live. This is how I want to grow. And this forces us into something like a reality check, like a spiritual realism a bit. You will see that the energy talks here in these weeks, they go all the way back to feeling, sensing, and perceiving, and how to discern all this, and to recognize what our life force, or what determines our life force, and what happens when we consciously tune into our life force. Because the cool thing that happens when you are on this second journey of your life is that life force is provided to you. It is sort of a self-propelled process that you're entering, where you realize that the more you can uncomplicate, the more you can simplify your life down to your conscious choices, the things that are worth living for you, based on who you are today, the more energy you have. And this is why this topic, energy management, always comes up here in conjunction with these energy talks and energy updates, because at the end of the day, it's a matter of energy management and not a matter of accumulating or getting more energy. Think about it. If you see your life as the quest for more energy, you're going to set out there in the same way that you've been conditioned to, namely trying to get it from somewhere. Yeah. You will see it as a getting, having, owning. And where do you think that's going to come from? Mostly from other people. And that's the reason why we have so many relationship issues, because we're not aware that really what we're in for here is a huge sort of battle of trying to get energy from another. This constant push and pull of unseen energetic interaction between humans. And if you want to do this in a more conscious way, a way that actually allows you and the other to grow, then you will have to let go of some things. There's new rules of engagement, and you cannot look back and beat yourself up for what you couldn't know before, guys. This is always sort of the bridge here. You have to be willing to accept that your mind isn't the tool that can get you there alone. You need to have your heart and your soul in the game. Peace, love, and happiness aren't things that your mind can imagine. Those are things that you feel. Those are things that are experienced and embodied from within your entire being, including the spirit being in you. And more so, actually, if you understand how your soul speaks to you, you will recognize that it is through the heart, through the feeling that you express with your entirety of who you are. And obviously, knowing yourself well, knowing how to manage your energy, knowing what you can let go of, how to lighten your load, will be extremely beneficial for you. Not just in the practical sense, but also in the sense of being connected, feeling this deep connection with your soul. So to stabilize all that and to bring in, the persistence and, like the trust that you can find a way, that you will be able to do this, you're going to have to let go of all these control mechanisms and these having, owning, getting, because they're going to come to an abrupt halt in this next week. It's very, very tricky. You have to be willing to let go of how you've been conditioned and be willing to accept that this conditioning is fundamentally a limitation for you. Yeah, so everything that you believed in before, I think, therefore I am. I have, therefore I am, is going, or needs to fade away for you to recognize that it is, I feel, therefore I am, that truly determines how you manifest your life force, how this vitality, this energy that you feel in you, this conscious soul self-awareness, how that can be expressed. And it's Mother's Day on Sunday here in the United States and some of your countries. And when I teach these same lessons to the children at our Master Tree Academy, our school here in Florida, I use more simple imagery. And we talked about Mother's Day and how to show love. The kids are very, very aware that love is the most important thing in their life. And they're also aware how the absence of love can influence the way they feel about themselves and how their vitality is impacted if they feel unloved. And the biggest awareness that these kids had this week was that love unexpressed is kind of like no love. The love that we don't share, the love that we don't express, is the kind of love, that is contained, that cannot grow. And so my tip for you here, whether it's Mother's Day in your country or not, focus on the fundamentals of what you want for your life: truth, freedom, and love. And with love comes peace and happiness. And how to best express them. In the spirit world, guys, the power of a being is measured in the ability to express love. And I know this sounds cheesy, but maybe if you feel this with your heart and your soul instead of with your mind, you understand what I mean. It is how much love you can bring into this world. So it's not just about our mothers, obviously. We all have a mother, though. That's what connects us as humans. And therefore, another tip I have for you here for this next week is to focus on how to bring more love into this world, how to do this. And you've guessed it. The most effective way to bring love into this world is to show appreciation, is to show gratitude, is to show respect, is to show how much something matters to us, how sacred it is to us. And this, folks, need to include the relationship with yourself and your own soul. Those of you on this second journey, for you can already feel this. The most important part now is not to find better ways how to get there, like more energy healing modalities or gadgets or, work modalities. No. Is to internalize this and make this a conscious choice that this is who you are. And in that moment, you're making the most important choice in your life, namely, you devote your life to growth. And in the process, you will have to let go of a lot of things, beliefs, and mindsets, attachments. Doesn't mean you have to be poor or anything like that. It doesn't mean that at all. On the contrary, growth also means abundance, means affluence. But you cannot feel abundance if you cannot appreciate that energetic vitality that you get through expressing love. So remember, this is all linked together. And those of you in relationships that are a bit wobbly, guys, take this to heart. Sometimes our existing relationships are not designed to continue to grow with us. So there's a lot of karmic relationship stuff that is coming up here in this next week. Tonight, here with the Heart Warriors, we're going to do the karmic relationship clearing and learn together how to do this deeper letting go. Doesn't mean you have to cut out people out of your life. Sometimes it does, but this is not the main purpose. The main purpose is to let go of all these push-pull things, all these things that you try to get from others, so that your load gets lighter and your life gets simpler. And where you can see that the amount of love that you can bring into this world, lovingness as we call this, is unrestricted. So sign up for my newsletter, go to my website, go to my YouTube channel. You'll see that I will talk about relationships here in these next days and weeks to come. With the weekly energy updates, I always take a little more focus on certain subjects, and if you would like to find out what it's like to become a heart warrior, somebody who lives his or her life this way, and do this with me here in my capacity as energy healer, as energy trainer and energy coach, then check this out. There is a new Heart Warrior program available for you. We no longer do the Bootcamp. You guys are already on your second journey. You can dive right in. I can't wait to work with you. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for sharing the content. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I would highly recommend this, because every time I post a video, you will get a notification, and I post more videos than I send out in emails. Thank you for your comments. Have a wonderful Mother's Day. Have a wonderful love appreciation weekend and week ahead. See you soon. Bye-bye. Welcome to our Only Life workshop this year in Iceland, and we will get inspired, learn how to overcome our old ways and learn new ways. Join us to this only in-person energy healing and training seminar in Iceland this year. Learn from us how to test and discern truth and its dualities. Explore how to implement conscious awakening into the physical. See how it's done. And even if you just want to come to Iceland to explore this magnificent island, the midnight sun, the waterfalls, the geysers, or stop by while traveling to Europe or to the United States, then check this out. Either way, we're going to have an unforgettable experience together, spending 24-hour daylight in one of the most sacred places on this planet. Tickets and registration is now online. You can plan your summer vacation with us in June in Iceland.